Brewer Bats are alive and well and looking for a series sweep of the rival Twins. A gorgeous Sunday afternoon here at Miller Park. Interleague play continues all weekend long here in Milwaukee. The Brewers have grabbed the first two games of this series and done it in an impressive style. And because of that, Milwaukee puts Chris Narveson out on the hill to help protect a two-game cushion now in the National League Central. Milwaukee in first place. Narveson hoping to even up his record here this afternoon. Hi, everybody. Craig Kashan back with you here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Narveson hoping to get the run support that the Brewers got yesterday, providing offensively in a big 11-1 victory. The Brewers continue to pound the ball, 11 runs on 14 hits yesterday. 4 more home runs as you take a look at the home run derby in Major League Baseball. The Yankees lead the way with 108, Milwaukee next with 90. Well, guess whose two teams match up in the Bronx on Tuesday? Yeah, it'll be your Brewers matching up against the Yankees for a big interleague series. A big 3-gamer coming up, so we'll see who outslugs who. But first things first for the Brew Crew, they need to take care of business today, and they'll do it with a surplus of all-stars in this lineup. BA and Rock tell us who to keep an eye on for today and the Midsummer Classic.
Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Triple Hopped Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By AT&T. And brought to you by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Toyota territory at Miller Park. Outside this beautiful ballpark, the grills are fired up today. A great day to tailgate inside Miller Park. The Brewers getting ready for the Minnesota Twins and potentially 3 All-Stars this year offensively. Ricky Weeks leading all second basemen in runs scored. You've got Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder, 2 of the top 4 run producers in all of the National League. Fielder at the top, Ryan Braun 4th in the league as we get set for the final game of the series with Minnesota. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. We wrap up Green Week here today. That's why we have the green shirts on, and we're looking forward to this matchup because the Brewers have a chance to sweep the Minnesota Twins. But if you're thinking big picture right now and you're looking at the All-Star game in Phoenix, the Brewers have an outstanding shot to place 3 in that game from the offensive side.
Well, and they deserve it. I mean, these 3 guys in the middle of an offense that has been inconsistent at best, but, Ricky Weeks certainly deserves to be in the game, and no second baseman, both defensively and offensively, have been able to do what Ricky has done On-base percentage in the last 15 games off the charts. He's swinging the bat, and he's the guy that gets that offense going. Ricky with an on-base percentage at about 360. Ryan Braun leads all vote getters in all of baseball. Everybody knows what Ryan Braun has been able to do. 16-game hitting streak. You see his numbers right there. And he's the straw that stirs the drink in the middle of that order. And Prince Fielder, certainly another guy that deserves to be in that game. Not just in the game, but in the starting lineup. He's currently third. You got to get out and vote for Prince. Nobody in baseball has been able to put up the numbers that Prince Fielder has been able to put up so far this year.
Online voting continues through the 30th of June, 25 times per email account at Brewers.com. We encourage you to vote. It looks like the Brewers are going to have a number of players at the All-Star game in Phoenix. Well, the Brewers are set for an opportunity at a sweep. They did it last year against Minnesota. Can they do it again in 2011? Lineups, first pitch coming up next from Miller Park.
It's feeling like a free fall now. Nobody's gonna slow us down.
And the two states collide once again here. Wisconsin and Minnesota, the Brewers and the Twins. Big crowd filing in, expecting a near sellout once again today. Last night, these two teams drew a sellout crowd of over 42,000, and expecting more of the same here today. Beautiful Sunday for baseball. Ron Gardenhire and the Twins, and Ron Roenicke and the Milwaukee Brewers, as Chris Narveson is ready to go. His first pitch to Ben Revere is outside ball one, and we're off and running at Miller Park on a glorious Sunday for baseball. Temperatures in the upper 70s today. Milwaukee going after a sweep of the Minnesota Twins. As a matter of fact, the Brewers have won 6 consecutive games against Minnesota going back to last season. John Tumpane, the home plate umpire. And let's get you Ron Gardenhire's Piggly Wiggly batting order. It's Ben Revere, Alexi Casilla, Michael Kadire at the top, Danny Valencia, Luke Hughes, and Jason Repko in the middle. Tsuyoshi Nishioka, Drew Butera, and Carl Pavano rounded out. And a lot of big names missing from that Minnesota Twins lineup. As Narveson strikes out Ben Revere, and a good way to get his day started.
Now the big overhand curveball, good pitch for him in his last start against the Tampa Bay Rays. Unfortunately, as good of a start that Narveson had early, it was late, the big inning late for Narveson. As you see his numbers, his 16th start, a 4-5 record. He's allowed the 7 home runs this year.
Now the Brewers are headed to New York tomorrow. They'll start a series at Yankee Stadium Tuesday as this stretch of interleague games continues. None more popular than the home and home series with the Minnesota Twins. It has been a big hit not only here at Miller Park, you see it in the attendance, but also at Target Field, and that's where interleague play will wrap up next weekend at Target Field. And the Brewers are back home on the 4th of July against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So it'll be the Diamondbacks, then the Reds, and one final homestand before the All-Star break.
Man, what was thought to be a very difficult stretch for the Brewers, this interleague schedule off to a decent start, 4-4 for the Brewers. Now, Red Sox, Tampa, now the Minnesota Twins.
Switch hitter Alexi Casilla batting out of the 2-hole for Minnesota. Now the Brewers drop 2 out of 3 in Boston and drop 2 out of 3 to the Rays as Narveson strikes out Casilla. Back-to-back Ks to get him started. And let's see how the Brewers line up defensively behind Narveson today. It's brought to you by Blaine's. Nyjer Morgan back in the starting lineup. You've got McGee, Betancourt, Weeks, and Fielder around the horn with Jonathan Lucroy doing the catching. Nyjer Morgan was in the game briefly last night and made some headlines after the game, as only Nyjer Morgan / Tony Plush can. We'll get to that a little later in the ballgame, but always fun to hear from Nyjer Morgan, and he was ready to speak last night. Nice win last night for the Brewers, an 11-1 final score. Last night's win, the 11-1 victory, the largest margin of victory this season, and their biggest win over the Minnesota Twins since June of '03. That was a 13-1 win at the Metrodome back in '03.
Everybody talking about the offense last night. Carlos Gomez with 3 hits, the big home run early, the 2-run home run that gave the Brewers an early lead. But Yovani Gallardo outstanding last night on the mound for Milwaukee, able to eat up 7 innings, allowed only 1 run. So starting pitching continues to be a story for the Brewers.
Gallardo's 9th win of the year last night. He briefly was the National League leader in wins before Jair Jurgens in San Diego notched his 10th win of the season. A little cue shot right off the end of the bat. Narveson plays it and throws him out. Nicely done. Good start for Narveson. A 3-up, 3-down inning, couple of strikeouts to get his day started. Central to start play today. A 2-game lead over the St. Louis Cardinals. And the Piggly Wiggly batting order, Ricky Weeks and Nyjer Morgan back in the 2-hole today with Ryan Braun batting third. Middle of the order for Renicky is Fielder, McGee, and Hart. And the bottom three, Betancourt, Lucroy, and Narveson. Rounding out the Milwaukee 9 against right-hander Carl Pavano, who is on some kind of roll in the month of June.
Yeah, 6'5", 250 pounds. He's a guy that pitches to contact over 100 innings so far this year. 2 of his last 4 starts have been complete games. He's had a terrific month of June, going 3-0 with a 1.64 earned run average.
Signed a 2-year deal with Minnesota. And all of these Minnesota starters signed either by contract through next season or with team options. So that is the one stable area that the Twins have. On the position player side, though, they are a mess right now. Twins have suffered injury after injury. They lost their left fielder last night. Delman Young placed on the disabled list. And no Joe Mauer in the starting lineup today.
It seems like when one player comes off the disabled list for the Twins, somebody else is going on. It has been a revolving door in that training room this year. It's been a tough go for the Twins.
The high fastball from Pavano. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Ricky Weeks. Been a lot of talk about Weeks and his success this year. Even his manager chimed in, Ron Renicky, before the game today, commenting on Weeks' season, the numbers he is putting up as a leadoff hitter, as a second baseman. As Ricky strikes out. Out number 1. First strikeout for Pavano. Defensively for the Twins, Jason Repko gets the call in left, Ben Revere in center, Michael Kadire in right. Around the infield, it's Valencia, Nikiosha, Casilla, and Hughes. And Drew Butera gets the call behind the plate. Day game after a night game. No Joe Mauer. And a bit of a shift in the outfield today for Ron Gardenhire. Twins are without Bernard Span, placed on the 15-day disabled list with a concussion. Delman Young was immediately placed on the 15-day DL after last night's game. Nyjer Morgan with 1 away, back in the starting lineup. Morgan says he wears his Sunday best on Sundays, which means in his world, his Sunday best means the pant legs are down to the shoe tops.
Right. Only on Sundays, only on special occasions. He's something else. He wasn't in the game very long, but he got a lot of the headlines. I mean, the most popular 2 guys after the game were Josh Wilson, who came in late. He made a great play to end the ball game in foul territory yesterday, and Nyjer Morgan, never afraid to give you a sound bite from time to time. You just wish Nyjer would have more fun playing the game of baseball. He just takes it too seriously.
You don't know which personality you'll get, but they're all entertaining. Baseball's version of Sybil, as he takes one inside for a ball.
Well, we've only seen the good Sybil. I haven't seen the bad Sybil.
Full count. Pavano working quickly to Morgan, and a pop up behind the bag at third. This is Nishioka, and he's got it for the out. 2 gone. Our Nissan keys come from hitting coach Dale Swaim on Carl Pavano.
Crafty guy, throws across his body, which helps him out a little bit. He's going to be anywhere from 89 to 92, staying around 91 with his fastball. Slight little movement on his fastball, in and out with his fastball. He's not afraid to pitch in with his fastball to left-handers and right-handers.
Hey, he's got a good slider and a very good changeup. The changeup is the neutralizer and keeps hitters off that fastball. Most of his fastballs are 2-seamers.
Big cut by Ryan Braun. See the numbers on Braun coming in. A .309 hitter, has 15 runs batted in. Or 15 home runs, I should say. 57 batted in. 4th in the league to start play today. He and Prince Fielder in the top 4. Fielder is the National League leader in RBIs. As Braun bounces one out to short, Nikiosha makes play, and a clean inning for both starting pitchers.
as we head to the second inning. Hey, Ryan Braun is currently in the lead to be the next We Energies High Energy Player of the Year with 34% of the votes. Cast your vote today at brewers.com/WeEnergies.
Roof is open on a gorgeous day here in Milwaukee. No scores. We head to the second inning. If you're wondering if you have been to a game lately and you're wondering why the roof is partially closed, it is one slot closed to help with the shadows. A lot of the players expressing concern over the shadows between home plate and the mound, and mostly fearful for the pitchers, but I think it does give the hitter a little bit of an advantage. But that's why they do that. And so the shadows creep out over second base, and the shadows from the mound to the plate are encompassed. As Valencia sends one deep to center field. Morgan is back and he can't get it. It's off the wall. Valencia on his way to third, and he'll make it with a leadoff triple. Danny Valencia hitting out of the cleanup spot for the third time this year. Knocks one over the head of Nyjer Morgan.
Well, he can hit a fastball. I mean, we saw that in the start for Randy Wolf. A first pitch fastball that he knocked out of the ballpark for 3-run homer. There's a fastball right down the middle. So I would be careful with fastballs to this young man. He can hit the fastball. He struggled with just about everything else. And Nyjer got himself twisted around a little bit out there in center. Never really came close to it.
Leadoff triple, Valencia's first triple of the year. And Luke Hughes with a swing and a miss. Valencia leads the Twins in RBIs. That is not the name you'd expect to lead the Minnesota Twins in ribbies. Has 36 this year. But when guys like Morneau and Mauer have missed so much time, Jason Kubel still on the disabled list with a left foot injury. You can understand why. Brewers bring their corner infielders in. And a good block. Jonathan Lucroy keeps Valencia at third base. Well done.
Yeah, we've been talking about Jonathan and his improvement in blocking pitches in the dirt for a while now. You almost come to expect it at this point, and he's been blocking some pretty tough pitches that bounce in front of home plate.
Narveson could use a strikeout. A lot of ways to score a run after a leadoff triple. Hughes will get most of the work at first base with Justin Morneau out for at least the next 6 weeks. Jim Thome just returning to the active roster yesterday. Cuddyer has been the one consistent bat as Narveson strikes out Luke Hughes. Nicely done. That's a big out for him here in the second inning.
There's a good changeup. And off the outside corner, you can see it just waves at it. That's the difference maker for Chris Narveson. Changeup. It's been a good one last couple of starts.
One away, infield in, and a pitch in the dirt. Jason Repko for Minnesota. Yesterday, Repko was the starter in right field. Hit 8th in the batting order. Was 1 out of 4. Had an infield hit. Elevated in the lineup today to 6th with the left-hander on the mound. Bouncing ball through the drawn-in infield. A broken bat RBI single for Repko. And that is the risk with the infield in.
Well, Narveson did his job. He got the ball on the ground. Another good changeup, but this time Repko able to wait back long enough and got it off the end of the bat. But the drawn-in infield really limits your range and into left field. So a little bit more toward Betancourt, and it would have worked.
So the Twins on the board first, just like last night. Scoring early. Minnesota got a second inning run last night as well. That was the last time they scored, despite 8 hits last night. Tsuyoshi Nishioka now with 1 away. Twins are waiting on Nishioka to arrive as a major leaguer. It has been a struggle for him. He broke his leg earlier this year, first week of the season, trying to turn a double play. Nick Swisher came crashing in on Nishioka, the Twins shortstop, and a fractured fibula.
Yep, only his 16th game here this afternoon. Signed a 3-year contract with the Twins.
And Nishioka got a $9 million deal. But it was a brutal injury and kind of showcases the difference between the collision play and how players go into a collision at second base trying to break up a doubleheader here in the States and Major League Baseball and over in Japan.
That's a leg whip by Swisher. They shouldn't do that.
Into right center, pretty well hit. Nyjer Morgan on the run, still going back. He's got it. Repko has to retreat, and a good catch by Nyjer Morgan for out number 2. Had a long way to go for that ball.
Nishioka hit that one pretty well to the opposite field. About the best swing that we've seen from him in this series. Yeah, good contact and the fastball up and away, and Nyjer having to go back and make the catch on the track. Showing good power the other way.
So 2 gone. And here is Drew Butera. Butera hitting just 176. Backup catcher to Joe Mauer. You just wonder how long the Twins are going to stick with Mauer as an everyday catcher. Runner goes. Lucroy's throw to second. He is right there, but safe is the call. Repko able to sneak a toe in there around the tag of Ricky Weeks, and a stolen base.
Yeah, can't do it any better than Jonathan Lucroy just did. Right on the money, quick release. But Repko going on the first move from Narveson and able to beat it barely.
Runner in scoring position now. 3rd steal for Repko this year. Twins are a team that doesn't run a lot. They have a couple of players that steal a ton of bases in Alexi Casilla and Ben Revere. There's a strike. Well, pretty close. Looked like the ball was there in time. How about the tag? Bang, bang.
Yeah, too close to really complain either way.
So it begs the question, do you challenge the 8th place hitter, hitting just 176 this year with a base home run at first? Or do you work around him and go after the pitcher coming up next, especially an American League pitcher?
I'll go right after him. You bet you'd love to have the pitcher leading off next inning.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And a little pop up. Fielder wants it. And that's that. So the Twins get a run in the 2nd inning, a leadoff triple, an RBI from Repko. 1-0 Minnesota. The Brewers coming up. Sunday baseball at Miller Park, Milwaukee. The Twins on the board first. A second inning run. Now Milwaukee coming up. Fielder will lead off. And the Powerball home run count for Prince Fielder now at 21. Prince homered yesterday in the 6th inning, a 2-run homer. At the time gave the Brewers a 10-1 lead. So many of his home runs have been clutch home runs, the kind that either tie or put the Brewers ahead. And you see where the Brewers stand right now. Fielder tied with Matt Kemp for the National League lead with 21. Ryan Braun in there with 15, also in the top 10 in the league.
Yeah, the Brewers now 3 home runs ahead of the Arizona Diamondbacks for the team leading homers in the National League. 90 home runs for the Brewers so far this year.
4 coming last night. 3 out of the ballpark, 1 inside the park. Yuniesky Betancourt had an inside the parker last night. This Fielder lifts one foul territory, and that'll end up in the seats. Only the Yankees have hit more home runs than the Brewers this season. Yankees are up over 100 this year.
This will be interesting this week going into Yankee Stadium. This should be some fireworks.
That is coming up Tuesday. The Brewers at Yankee Stadium as Fielder gets under another one. This one's got a chance to be played, and it will be caught. Is it? So a collision, no ruling yet. There it is. Out is the call. A great play coming in from Jason Repko.
It's a lot of running he's done in the last couple of pitches, and able to get there. Kept it in the glove. Third base umpire Dan Bellino running all the way out there, wants to see it in the glove. A snow cone, but he keeps it in there. Repko on his back has the baseball and asking Danny Valencia, "Are you all right?"
He's the one that took the brunt of it, but wanted to make sure his teammate was okay.
Make sure those cleats don't end up on my chest.
That's a nice play by Jason Repko. So Repko making an impact in this game already as McGee pops this one in foul territory, and 2 easy outs for Carl Pavano to start the second inning. Don't forget, this July, baseball's biggest stars will gather together in the Arizona desert for one spectacular night. It's the summer's biggest event. Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2011 MLB All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July 12th, live from Phoenix, 7 Central, only on Fox. And you are hoping Fielder will be there with a few others. You know Braun's going to be there. He is the leading vote getter among National Leaguers right now. Ricky Weeks having an all-star season. You figure a couple of pitchers have a shot to go to Phoenix as well.
John Axford certainly deserves to be at the all-star game with his string of consecutive saves at 17 right now. And nobody really throwing the baseball any better than Axford as the closer.
Yeah, Sean Markham's had a great year, an all-star type first half. Giovanni Gallardo is a 9-game winner.
Yeah, Randy Wolf doesn't have the wins, but he has pitched as well as anybody in the Brewers rotation.
Corey Hart into center. And it's Revere who makes the catch for the out. Hit it a long way, but not far enough. 3 up, 3 down for Pavano again. Brewers as we head to the top of the third inning. Minnesota coming up, and their pitcher Carl Pavano ready to lead off. Hope you're enjoying this great weather this weekend. Finally getting a little sunshine here in Milwaukee. Brewers are headed on the road. It'll be a 6-game road trip in all. 3 in New York, 3 in Minnesota. As Pavano jumps on the first pitch. And a routine fly ball out to Nyjer Morgan, out number 1.
That's why you would like to go after that number 8 hitter in the batting order, even with the first base open, especially a number 8 hitter batting under 200. You love to be able to start your inning with the opposing pitcher, especially one that has not been able to get a hit yet.
So 1 out quickly for Narveson, giving up a second inning run. It was a Jason Repko broken bat RBI single with a drawn at infield after Valencia tripled to start the inning. Now back to the top of the order in Ben Revere. The Brewers have set their rotation for the series against the Yankees as Revere bounces one to Weeks. Nice easy hop. 2 outs. Tuesday, Zach Greinke will work against Freddie Garcia. Garcia's having a good year for the Yanks. He's 6-6, an ERA at 3.30. Sean Markham is set to go against New York on Wednesday. Markham against A.J. Burnett. And then Randy Wolf against CC Sabathia.
CC doing his thing once again this year. He's 10-4. ERA just a little over 3.
Yep, 3 10-game winners in baseball right now. Sabathia, Justin Verlander, and Jair Jurgens of the Braves. And all 3 winning their 10th game yesterday. Interesting that Zach Greinke has not pitched in new Yankee Stadium. As a matter of fact, he hasn't pitched against the Yankees in New York since 2008. Bouncing ball, 2 Weeks. And an easy inning for Narveson. He needed that. 3 up and 3 down. We head to the bottom of the third from Miller Park. Bottom of the order coming up. Park. Brewers fans looking for a sweep. Yuniesky Betancourt ready to lead off. How about last night? Betancourt with the second inside the park home run for the Crew this year. And it came at the expense of an injury to Delmon Young, a high ankle sprain. Betancourt with his 5th home run of the season. And part of a 2-hit game for Uni B.
Yeah,
Betancourt leads off here in the third.
I'm sorry. Bottom of the Brewers order outstanding last night. They were all over the base paths just about throughout the entire game. Good to see.
There were 9 hits last night from hitters 6 through 9. That includes the pitcher spot. Betancourt had 2. Lucroy with 2. Carlos Gomez had a great night last night as well. He was 3 for 4 with a 2-run homer. And Gallardo was 1 out of 3 as well, hitting out of the 9th position. And anytime you get production like that, sets up big opportunities for the top of the order and the big run producers. RBIs from Weeks and Hart. Hart had a home run, one of the 4 homers last night. Braun drove in a couple. Fielder had a 2-run homer. One plays to the other.
11 runs for the Brewers, but only 1 for the Twins. And Yomani Gallardo outstanding. A good rebound from a very rough start against the Red Sox.
Betancourt into left field, a base hit. His bat is starting to heat up, and that is a good sign as we get into the middle of the summer.
He gets himself into fastball counts, and he's a pretty good fastball hitter. And all of a sudden starting to be able to center on those high fastballs. That pitch up in his zone, about belled high, and you can see Betancourt able to get on top of it and hit it hard into left field.
Talking to Dale Swain, the Brewers hitting coach, about Betancourt. He likes his swing. He feels like he is mechanically sound. But the challenge with Betancourt, at least from a hitting coach's perspective, is to get him focused on pitch selection, because he's basically getting himself out more than he should.
Well, there's nothing wrong with swinging at the first pitch. If you're able to get the pitch that you're looking for and you hit it hard, or at least put a good swing on it. And the thing that drives a hitting coach crazy is that a guy will swing at the first pitch and be fooled. There's no reason to do that.
Well, a base runner for Jonathan Lucroy. Had a good visit earlier today with Lucroy. He was talking about how humbled he was to look up at the All-Star voting and see that he has over 1 million votes at this point. In his first full season in the major leagues. Was brought up last year when Greg Zaun was injured, out for the season. Lucroy pressed into duty maybe a year earlier than the Brewers had hoped for in the player development side.
That just speaks volumes for the fans here in Milwaukee, because not many cities other than Milwaukee know a whole lot about Lucroy.
Betancourt takes off. Here's the throw to second. Not a chance. Betancourt got a great jump. And a stolen base for Yuniesky Betancourt, his first of the season.
He had a pretty decent lead, and actually had a walking lead. He started to go before Pavano went to home plate. A little bit of an itchy trigger finger, but it paid off for him. And now a man in scoring position for Milwaukee.
Well, that's big. Lucroy has been a good run producer this season, batting 8th on most days. Has 32 driven in. And that one's on the corner, a strike. 3-1 to Lucroy.
Just getting back to Lucroy, though, I mean, you put his numbers up against any catcher in the National League with respect to run production. 7 home runs, 32 RBIs. Just doesn't have the reputation yet of a consistent performer.
And Lucroy takes ball 4. He gave John Tumpane just a moment to make sure. Now 2 on to start this inning as we check in with Brandon Cruz. How you doing, Brandon?
Hey, doing great, Brian. And I'll tell you what, right now, even though the Brewers are only 11-21 when the other team scores first, they should have plenty of opportunities right now against Carl Pavano. In more than 100 innings, he's only struck out 41 guys, and he doesn't walk that many either, so that means they're going to have a lot of chances to hit the ball and drive in runs. Back to you guys.
Yeah, base runners are a key. The 2 stats, if you look across the splits for Carl Pavano, working against him in this matchup, he has struggled on the road this year. Pavano's ERA is 5.12 away from target field. He has also struggled in day games. His earned run average is near 5 when he's pitched under the natural light. So he seems to be at his best at home and at night. neither of which he has on display here as Narveson gets a bunt down, a beauty. Pavano makes a play, a collision there between Pavano and Valencia. Perfect bunt from Narveson, a sacrifice. Second and third, turns it over to the top of the order.
That's about as good as it gets from Chris Narveson. Has a little bit of backspin on it and just deadens it right in front. You know, the pitcher's mound right down the line. You can see a nice wedge shot for Narveson. A beautiful bunt, and it took a good play to get him. We can't roll it out there any better than that.
So the tying run at third now with one away. Go ahead run at second in Lucroy. And Ricky Weeks a chance to play run producer. Pavano struck out Weeks in the first.
Yeah, for a big guy, Pavano, as we mentioned, 6'5", 250 pounds. He doesn't throw that hard. He's topped out today, I think, about 91. Dale Swain was telling us earlier that he's going to stay between 88 and 93 miles an hour. We haven't seen that yet. But pitches to contact very well. 22 walks, 41 strikeouts for Pavano in over 100 innings, which puts the emphasis on the defense, and the Twins defense has not been very good this year.
And when Brandon Cruz talking about opportunities, he has given up more hits than innings pitched this year. He doesn't walk many, doesn't strike out many. 2 on, 1 out, and Weeks lays off. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ricky Weeks. Pavano in his 14th year in the big leagues. Twins got him in 09 from the Indians for a player to be named later. It's been a nice pickup for the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, second full year, and he was a 17-game winner last year for Minnesota.
Quick trip to the mound for Drew Butera. This past offseason, there was a lot of talk. The Brewers trying to revamp their starting rotation. Pavano was in the mix, and among those that the Brewers spoke with. Pavano got a 2-year deal from the Twins and wanted to stay put after having a lot of success there last year.
Yeah, and those talks came to a screeching halt when the Brewers picked up Zach Greinke.
Yep, Doug Melvin, Gord Ash closed up the briefcase. We're done, boys. Go get them.
Thanks for your time. We'll see you. We'll see you in June.
The 2-2, and Weeks a soft liner out to second for the out. Tough break. Had a chance to score 1, maybe 2. Instead, it's an out, and 2 are gone in the third.
And next homestand on July 10th on a Sunday against the Reds. All fans in attendance get a collectible Famous Racing sausage bobble, the hot dog, courtesy of Clemens Sausage. Call 414-902-4000 or visit Brewers.com for tickets.
What kind of year is the hot dog having this year?
It's having a good year. They're all having a pretty good season. Nothing to write home about, but the bratwurst has been somewhat embarrassing out there this year.
He is not deserving of a bobblehead this year. As Nigel Morgan takes a strike. 6th inning each and every day here at Miller Park. A big attraction, the Famous Racing sausages. As Morgan cuts and misses. Took a little off, did Pavano. Well, Nigel Morgan would love to deliver a couple of runs. 2 outs in the inning, down 0-2.
A lot of changeups, a lot of sliders, and in fastball counts, he's going to throw you that changeup. It's a good pitch for him. So both pitchers today featuring very good changeups. Very popular pitch these days.
Pavano working quickly, and the 0-2, and that hit him. Morgan will take first base. They will not bring him back this time. Bob Davidson is not here, so Morgan is allowed to go to first.
Yeah, well, not many umpires are going to make the call that Bob Davidson made. Watch the front shoulder of Nigel Morgan. He just turns in, and the ball hits him. And That's the right call right there, not the one that Bob Davidson made when the Tampa Bay Rays were here.
Well, it sets the stage for Ryan Braun with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And this sellout crowd ready to roar once again tonight. It was very loud inside Miller Park last night. Over 43,000. As a matter of fact, it was nearly 44,000 on hand last night. And I would expect similar numbers to come out of today's attendance. Big spot. 2-men are out. A single, a walk, and a hit batter. The Brewers were able to chase the Twins starter Francisco Liriano last night in the 4th inning. And there's a strike right down the middle. Braun would love to have that one back.
Yeah, maybe looking for something off speed, and why wouldn't you? I mean, that's what Pavano likes to do. Sliders and changeups when there are men in scoring position.
The Brewers do not have a grand slam this year. As Braun sends one in the air, shallow center. Ben Revere will make the catch. Pavano is out of the mess. The Brewers strand the bases loaded. 1-0 Twins.
Means it's time for the Jeep game reset, and the Twins get on the board first with the base hit by Jason Repko into left field, scoring the run 1-0 in the second. Carl Pavano looking strong, striking out Ricky Weeks. But Chris Narveson also looking good, giving up only 1 run and the strikeout there as well. Again, 1-0 Twins as we head to the top of the 4th.
All right, Brandon, thanks. Twins batting here in the 4th inning. Michael Cuddyer leads off. Now the Brewers strand the bases loaded in the 3rd inning. Ryan Braun flies out, and a big step for Pavano. Pavano's coming off a great start his last time out against the Giants. The lone win for the Twins in that series with San Francisco. All of a sudden, Minnesota has lost 4 straight as Cuddyer goes down on 3 straight pitches from Narveson. So Nyjer Morgan hit by a pitch, allowed to take first base today. This was on the left against Tampa Bay with Bob Davidson behind the plate, and you be the judge. What was the difference?
Well, I'll tell you what the difference was. It seemed to me that the one today, this one here, a little bit more obvious that Morgan didn't mind getting hit by the pitch.
Valencia to left, Braun going back. This one's carrying well, but Braun makes the catch with his glove up against the wall. Valencia giving one a ride. Boy, the ball is really traveling well today.
As it usually does with everything opened up. A nice warm day here in Milwaukee. But getting back to that Nyjer Morgan, split screen. If you're going to make a call and say, no, you tried to get hit by that pitch, it wouldn't be the one today.
Right.
In my mind, Bob Davidson kicked that call, but the Brewers had their opportunities in that game, but Niger called back in the one against Tampa Bay.
Yesterday, the Giants beat the Indians 1-0. The lone run came in the 7th inning for the Giants, and it came on a balk, a bases-loaded balk. You'll never guess who was behind the plate.
Yeah, Bob Davidson, but it was the right call. And looking at the replay, he did balk. The pitcher balked, and nothing he could do about that. Not his fault. Bob Davidson's fault that he balked.
That was the difference in the ball game yesterday. As Hughes sends Corey Hart back on the track. That's another quick inning for Chris Narveson. He's retired 8 in a row. Presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Subway. Try our $5 featured footlong of the month. Subway, where winners eat. Guess who? Ron Roenicke, the Brewers manager, back in his playing days. And a Nashville Sound. They were not an affiliate of the Brewers back then. I believe that was as a Reds affiliate. Cincinnati Reds, the Nashville Sounds. Ron Roenicke's playing days. Had a big league career. Had lasted 8 seasons. Mostly up and down between the major leagues and the minor leagues, especially toward the end of his career. Former first rounder out of UCLA, Ron Roenicke. His fielder slices one foul that is going to be in the seats.
All comes full circle, doesn't it?
Yep.
And back with the Brewers. Nashville Sounds, a AAA affiliate. I'll tell you, Ron Roenicke's done a heck of a job here in Milwaukee. He's been able to weather some tough storms, as far as his teams play from time to time. And most notably that 2-8 road trip that the Brewers were on. And right about that time, when that trip ended, that's when the Brewers started to play some pretty good baseball.
A lot of injuries early through spring training and the first month of the season. By the way, that card, that Nashville Sounds card from Roenicke, was from the 1988 season, which was his second to last season. He was done as a player in '89. He then went to the Dodgers as an eye in the sky after that. His fielder swings and misses. Pavano has had Prince's number in his first 2 at-bats. One away, we check in with Brandon.
Well, it is time for the crew in the community. Yesterday at Miller Park, around 75 youth coaches from around the area joined Brewers coaches and staff for the RBI coaches training, from hitting with Dale Swain, pitching with Stan Kiles, base running with Ed Cedar, even a presentation on injuries from Brewers athletic director Roger Kaplinger. The coaches got a season's worth of instruction just in time for summer leagues around the area. Guys?
That's a great event, and we tip our cap to the Brewers coaches and the athletic training staff, taking a time out of their busy schedule, and they have such a busy schedule. These coaches are here for a long time every day as the season rolls on, and I think it's a great move for them to come out and they give not the players but the coaches themselves some great training that they can take to all of their little leagues and their youth baseball teams.
And it's another example of how the Brewers, reach out into the community in many different ways, whether it be the SCORE program, the youth clinics, the coaches clinics, with the players' wives, what they do in the community. And you don't see that in a lot of organizations, not just baseball, but throughout sports.
Ball and 2 strikes on McGee. Pavano just missed. Boy, that looked like a pretty good pitch.
He wanted that one, didn't he? Either that or he hurt himself. One of the two. Check it out. Yeah, it looked like a good pitch. You see Pavano walking off the mound. He just now got back onto the mound. And Casey got away with one there.
Pavano likes to get it and go, and as a hitter, it's imperative that you disrupt his timing a little bit if you can. Bouncer out to Casilla. 2 outs for Pavano in the 4th. How about some AT&T trivia this afternoon? Our question today: name the last Minnesota Twins pitcher to hit a home run. It has been a while. We'll give you that hint.
Yeah.
One of the legendary Minnesota Twins pitchers.
Well, you have to go all the way back to the old Met, right?
That's right.
Metropolitan Stadium.
Pre-DH days, as a matter of fact.
Where the Mall of America currently sits.
Did you ever go to the Met?
I did not. Nope. Been to the Mall of America, though, more times than I care to admit.
Camp Snoopy, a big hit at the Mall of America.
Yeah.
Rock hanging out with all the children. Now the Brewers will be in Minneapolis next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Target Field. Beautiful ballpark now in its 2nd year. Bouncing ball in the hole. That's a base hit. Corey Hart with a single. A 2-out hit extends the inning for Betancourt.
Man, you really have to concentrate and stay back. That's that 2-seamer from Pavano, and he's not afraid to come inside and get that sinker underneath the bat of that right-handed hitter. That one stayed up, and Corey able to get his base hit.
Hart homered last night. He was the last starter to get a hit. Every other starter had a hit leading up to the 8th inning, and then Hart hit the home run to left. Betancourt, little tapper foul. Now Betancourt starting to get it going at the plate. He singled off Pavano in the 3rd inning. He stole a base. 2 hits last night. Betancourt had a home run earlier on this homestand on Tuesday in that 5-1 Brewers win over Tampa Bay. The Brewers need him. He was brought in with Zach Greinke in that trade. And you're hoping for some offensive production from the bottom of the order where Betancourt sits most of the time.
Yeah, it's tough to figure or rely on, the top of the Brewers order to be as consistent as they have been so far this year. I mean, we're in the latter part of June, and Weeks, Fielder, and Braun have been tremendous just about the first 3 months of the year. At some point you would figure they to cool off a bit. They haven't yet. But you have to rely on the bottom of the order from time to time like they did last night.
Betancourt rips one to center field. Revere is there. Hit it hard, but right at the Twins center fielder. Inning is over. 4 shutout for Pavano. Inning at Miller Park, final game of the series, and as part of our Fox Sports Supports charitable initiative, we are proud to wear these pens during our 2011 MLB on Fox Sports Wisconsin season to support Stand Up to Cancer and their work to fund groundbreaking research that helps accelerate treatment to patients. And for more information, visit standuptocancer.org/Fox Sports. Jason Repko leads off, has the lone RBI of the game at a broken bat single with a drawn in infield in the second after a leadoff triple from Valencia. 1-0 Twins, each club with 2 hits. Narveson has thrown just 14 pitches in the last 2 innings. A 7-pitch, 3 up, 3 down 3rd inning, and a 7-pitch, 3 up, 3 down 4th.
And he had a quick first inning.
Tapper off the bat, foul. Ball and 2 strikes on Repko.
Narveson has thrown the baseball well, pretty much all year long. He's had some starts, but for a 5th starter, I think Narveson has performed very well. I mean, living up to what the rest of the rotation has been doing. Not too many rotations in all of baseball that you would trade for the Brewers rotation. They have been very good.
Narveson has wins in the month of June against the Cardinals and the Cubs. Probably his best start of the season came against St. Louis. He went 8 shutout innings against the Cardinals. Part of a 3-game sweep for the Brewers against the Redbirds. Repko lines it foul in the seats.
Yeah, when you look at his season, he had back-to-back starts at the end of May where he got hit around pretty good. Gave up 11 runs in 7 1/3 innings. That was against the Nationals and the Reds. That was right, both of them right here at Miller Park. Other than that, he's been very good.
What you would expect from a 5th starter: inconsistent performance. Very few 5th starters toe the rubber and have great success every time out. Matter of fact, most teams are searching for a consistent 5th starter. Narveson retires Repko.
Yeah, how many 5th starters for any team have made 16 starts?
Right. That's the point, right? They're trying to find somebody who can solidify that role. The Brewers, for the most part, once Greinke returned, they have been able to use the same 5 guys, and now we're moving into nearly 2 months now with the same 5 in the starting rotation.
Yeah, when you have the off day that the Brewers had on Thursday, another off day on Monday, most teams are going to skip their 5th starter. because of that inconsistency. But Ron Renicky feels as though he doesn't need to do that.
One gone for Nishioka. And he takes a ball. 2-0 the count. Now the Brewers this time around with 2 off days in a 4-day stretch, using the off days to their advantage, meaning the starting pitchers, at least in Zach Greinke's case, pitching on day 7 as Nishioka flies out. 2 gone in the inning.
And that will help your rotation as the season goes on, particularly considering how many innings this rotation has been able to eat up in the first 3 months of the season. They've been good. They've been pitching deep into games, taking the pressure off the bullpen. Nothing wrong with an extra day from time to time.
Now the Brewers with a very tough schedule until the All-Star break, when the Interleague Series wrap up next Sunday in Minneapolis. The Brewers will have the Diamondbacks and the Cincinnati Reds. Diamondbacks currently a half game back of the Giants in the National League West, and you know how tough the Reds have been on Milwaukee this year. The hottest team in the National League Central right now, the Pittsburgh Pirates. They have won 4 straight. They have beaten the Red Sox in back-to-back games in their home stadium. Pittsburgh 2 games over 500. 3 back of the Brewers to start play today.
And the Pirates 16 and 14. I should say, check that. That's not right. 16 and 10 against the Central Division in the National League. So they're beating the teams that they have to beat. Except, of course, so far the Brewers.
Right. Pittsburgh and the Reds are tied for 3rd right now. Even though the Reds have 40 wins. They've played 2 more games than the Pirates. The Brewers stand at the top. 2-game lead over the Cardinals. Pretty good fastball. Just missed. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Butera.
Tough pitch to take. That's the effect of that changeup from Narvis. When you get hitters leaning out over the plate looking for the off-speed pitch, you straighten them up with a fastball in and just missed the edge.
And he lost him. 2-out walk. Well, Butera taking some close pitches in that at bat. But he earns the walk, and that'll give Carl Pavano a chance to swing the bat. Pavano is hitless this year. He's 0 for 5 now. One of the few Montreal Expos still active. Pavano came up as an Expo. Back to our AT&T trivia. The question this afternoon: name the last Twins pitcher to hit a home run. Jim Kaat is always a good guess when it comes to hitting or fielding pitchers. 1972.
Yeah.
We saw Jim Kaat just about a month ago. Had a good talk with him. He was in for Major League Baseball Network.
That was in Philly, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that was a couple of months ago now. Telling stories. Pavano strikes out. No Jim Kaat for the Twins pitcher here in the 5th.
And today's Tavern of the Game winner is the Fountain Tavern in Oshkosh. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours at 414-902-4572, they get 40 Miller Lite Beer Pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and our good friends at Miller Lite.
Well, when you're out there shoveling 8 inches of snow, these are the kind of days you have to bring up in your memory bank. Just a spectacular day in Milwaukee, Wisconsin today. America's heartland. It is in the mid-70s, slight breeze blowing. Grass is green. The stands are packed. Looking at another sellout tonight or today. Brewers are down 1-0. Another well-pitched game. Both sides, Narveson and Carl Pavano hooked up in a dandy as we play in the bottom of the 5th. Pavano got out of a bases-loaded jam in the 3rd inning, retiring Ryan Braun with the bases full. Lucroy goes down the line. That's a fair ball. And that is going to get to the corner. Lucroy on his way to second. As the ball bounces away, Lucroy on his way to third. The throw cut off. That'll be a triple for Jonathan Lucroy. First triple of the year for the Brewer catcher.
Well, again, try to get that sinker down and in under his hands and left it up. They gave Lucroy a lot of the line. You saw Repko had a lot of problems with it down in that corner, and Lucroy, not known for his speed, able to get to third base without a throw. There's a good start to the 5th.
Jonathan Lucroy safe at third, safe and secure. New York Life. Infield end, tying run at third. Narveson takes a big hack.
Was around the batting cage a couple of days ago, and Ed Cedar was teasing Lucroy about one of these days he's going to hit a triple. Eddie predicted it a couple of days ago, but hey, 2 days late, not too bad.
That is his first career triple. The day has come for Jonathan Lucroy. How do you think his legs are holding up at this point?
I think they're holding up just fine.
Perhaps a little bit of a quiver?
No. He's excited. He could have kept going.
Narveson puts one in play, but right to Casilla. And the Twins get the out without a run scoring. Tough break for Narveson. So back to the top of the order, Ricky Weeks. Again with a runner in scoring position. Where does he rank? Among second basemen in all of Major League Baseball. He leads second baseman in hits, runs, and home runs. He's tied with Robinson Cano for the most home runs. Second in slugging percentage. And an on-base percentage of .362.
Well, it will be a crime if Ricky Weeks does not make the All-Star team. And you can still vote for him. Certainly deserves to start the game in Arizona.
Weeks is 0 for 2 today. He lined out in the 3rd inning with runners at second and third. And again, Gardenhire is going to take the risk, bring his infield in.
Well, he realizes how much his offense has struggled. All of his big players on the disabled list. Figuring if he can cut down a run, he's going to do it.
They'll ask if he went. Yes, he did, says Darryl Cousins. And it's 0-2 on Ricky Weeks. Unable to check his swing.
Back-to-back sliders, and Ricky finds himself down in the count 0-2.
Puts a little pressure on Weeks here. Could not deliver the run in the 3rd inning. And a little half swing. Did he go? No, he didn't. The crew chief says he checked it this time. A leadoff triple from Jonathan Lucroy. One to nothing Twins here in the bottom of the 5th. Tying run at third base. And Weeks strikes out. Boy, Pavano coming up big with runners in scoring position. That is a huge out here in the 5th.
It wasn't about to make a mistake with a fastball. It was all breaking balls to Ricky from first pitch on. And that's a dandy changeup right there. You can see that one go down and in on Ricky. Kept it down around the ankles. That's a good pitch. Sliders and changeups. When he's in trouble, you can pretty much figure that's what he's going to throw.
Pavano has faced 4 hitters with a runner in scoring position today. 0 for 3. He has hit a batter, but that hit batter didn't cost him as Nyjer Morgan is behind in the count 0-1. So Morgan looking for a big hit to pick up weeks. Well, you hate to let a leadoff triple go by, especially from your catcher. Morgan hit by an 0-2 pitch his last time up. Bouncing ball up the middle. That is a base hit. Lucroy will score as Nyjer Morgan delivers.
A perfect approach. He didn't try and overswing. He just tried to put the bat on it. Playing pepper with Pavano and drives in a big 2-out run. Well done, Nyjer Morgan.
RBI number 13 for Morgan. He ties it at 1.
And not a bad pitch either. I mean, that changeup going down and away might have been up just a little bit, but Morgan with a nice approach, not overswinging and just out of the reach of Casilla, and ties it up.
And extends the inning for Ryan Braun. We'll see if Nyjer Morgan is on the move here against Pavano. And he takes off. First pitch, Braun fouls it away.
Hey, he had a huge jump. And Butera going out there to say, hey, give me a chance over here. Step off, maybe make a throw over, because first pitch Morgan was off and running and would have had it stolen easily.
The Brewers have a stolen base against Pavano today. Betancourt stole one back in the 3rd inning. And that gets by Hughes. Morgan will end up at second base anyway. So an error on the Twins. That has been a constant problem for Minnesota. A team that historically has been so good defensively. They are a mess on defense right now.
Yeah, 3rd most errors in the American League. That's 54 errors committed. And that'll be an E3. I'm not sure what happened there with Hughes. He just clanked it right off the end of the glove.
So Morgan ends up at second base. Now Braun with a base hit can give Milwaukee the lead. That one is hit hard left center field. That is way back and gone! A 2-run home run. The Brewers take the lead on a 2-run missile from Ryan Braun, number 16 of the year.
Yep, 2-out lightning for the Brewers. All started by Jonathan Lucroy. Morgan with a big base hit. And it's been a while for Brawny. Got to go back to mid-June in Chicago. Boy, an absolute rocket off the bat of Ryan Braun. Tried to get a fastball by him. He got him on his fastball his last time up. Did not get it by him this time.
Only question was there enough elevation to get up and out of the ballpark? It was hit on such a line to the deepest part of the ballpark. As fielder cuts and misses. Oh, that just had the sound of a squared up ball, and it had enough carry to it to get out of here.
That's a 2-iron, isn't it?
Man.
Well, he just didn't get it in far enough, and he made him pay for it.
Fielder strikes out, but the Brewers do damage with 2 away. It started with Tony Flush, and then Ryan Braun goes deep, 3-1 Crew.
At Stand Rock, an important part of Dell's history, a very famous 19th century photograph of a young man making the leap to Stand Rock. Today, only trained dogs make that leap. B.A., what do you think about our Rock, Bill Schroeder, making the leap to Stand Rock?
No chance, Mark. No chance. That would be a falling rock is what that would be. A falling and then a rolling rock.
He cracked a boulder. No, that's not happening, Mark. Thanks for asking, though. I do appreciate it, the offer.
Now Ryan Braun delivering a big 2-run home run to give Milwaukee the lead. A 3-run 5th inning for the Brewers, all coming with 2 outs. Nyjer Morgan with a 2-out RBI single to tie it up, and then Braun whistles one out of here to deep left center. Well, Braun now with 16 home runs and 59 runs batted in. And with every home run, Ryan Braun keeps climbing a very impressive list. You see Braun with 144 career home runs. Well, the bouncer out to Betancourt. Got to hurry. The throw is in time. Nicely done. The speedy Ben Revere cut down. And one away for Narveson here in the 6th.
Yeah, the only inning that Chris was not able to retire the leadoff hitter was back in the 2nd. The inning he gave up his only run, a leadoff triple. That was to Danny Valencia. He's been very good today, and so far has been able to avoid the big inning.
By the way, that home run for Braun extending his career best hitting streak at 16 games. The longest active streak in Major League Baseball. What's scary is Braun has been saying this past week, or all during the streak actually, that he doesn't feel real good at the plate. He's struggling a little bit.
He doesn't feel real good in general.
Narveson makes a play for the out.
Have you heard him speak lately?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound real good.
It's true. He sounds sick. I beg your pardon, I said 16-game hit streak. That's now 17 in a row for Braun. And he had that upper respiratory viral infection.
But still out there and being productive. He's a gamer.
Beware of the weary, I guess.
I guess an under the weather Ryan Braun is better than most at 100%.
Well, there was nothing wrong with his swing on that home run. If there was any question about his strength returning and his power returning, that's about as hard as you can hit a baseball. Braun's hitting streak started on the 8th of June and continues through the 26th. 17 in a row. He had a hit streak of 11. Had one of 13 games in the month of May, and he's had a long hitting streak at every month. This is a great graphic here. So in those last 43 games, he has gone hitless in just 4 games.
Amazing, isn't it?
Cuddyer breaks his bat. That's going to get down. Braun able to cut it off. Cuddyer on his way to second with a double. A 2-out double for Michael Cuddyer, who had a long hit streak himself prior to this series. That ended at 12 on Friday night.
And Narveson tried to pull the string on him on a 3-1 pitch. Cuddyer able to get enough of it, waited back long enough. He's big and strong too, and able to muscle one down the line off the end of the bat. Cuddyer had a nice hitting streak going until he got to Milwaukee.
Unlike Braun, his hitting streak, in his words, was a heavy streak. He was able to raise his batting average over 20 points, hit over 400 during that 12-game hit streak. That was snapped on Friday, but he has hits in his last 2.
Just about the only consistent player in that batting order for the Twins throughout the year. You got to be careful here with Valencia. He's been swinging the bat well in this series.
Well, Valencia hit a 3-run home run off Randy Wolf on Friday night. Valencia with a leadoff triple in the 2nd inning of this game. Scored the only Twins run.
And hit a ball very deep to left in the fourth. Almost hit one out of here. Dangerous pitch, 2-0.
And there for a strike. Well, Danny Valencia on Friday with Randy Wolf leading at the time. Valencia, a 3-run shot in the 6th inning. Gave the Twins the lead 3-2. That was the night Prince Fielder doubled in 2 runs with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 7th inning. 2 RBI double that gave the Brewers the lead. They would not look back. Axford saved it. And a tight one on Friday night, 4-3. Last night the Brewers with an 11-1 win on 14 hits. So in a position for a sweep of the Twins for the 2nd consecutive season. Cut it a miss. He got it. Narveson struck him out with a curveball. Valencia retired, and a 2-out double is left at second base. 3-1 Brewers. Reminding you to please play responsibly. By AirTran. Go, there's nothing stopping you. By the Miller Lite Vortex bottle. Taste greatness. And by Robert Hack Diamonds. See 10,000 pieces of jewelry this Sunday only. Back of the mill, a beautiful day here, and the Brewers lead 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. A sellout crowd at Miller Park. Wrapping up this homestand, the Brewers with a chance to make it a 4-2 homestand after dropping the series to the Rays and 3 consecutive series losses. The Brewers secured a series win with a victory last night. It looked like McGee got a piece of Drew Butera on the backswing.
That was a foul tip.
Oh, a foul tip.
Well, this will not end well for Butera right here. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Second time we've seen a catcher get dinged, if you will, in this homestand. Lucroy got one early in the homestand against the Rays.
Only time heals wounds. And Butera's going to need a minute. Maybe a good instructional for you later, Rock.
You think? Somebody was asking me on the field the other day why kids these days don't want to be catchers.
Because of the horrible images like this.
That might be one of the reasons why right here.
So Butera being given all the time he needs. You could think of a million places you'd rather be after a foul tip like that than in front of 44,000 people at a television audience.
Right.
Pretty soon everybody will start laughing at him. And he'll be all right.
Well, at some point you say, let's get going. It's not going to feel any better anytime soon, so let's just go get them. It was a couple of nights ago, actually. Lucroy got one, in the cup, and he had something else. He had a foul tip off the shoulder, I think, right between the eyes, actually off the mask. Occupational hazard, and sometimes, you're going to have a target on you. Now you go, a week to 10 days without anything hitting you. Now, back swings or foul tips. But then you go through stretches where you seem you just can't avoid it.
Well, Butera is back and ready to go. And McGee right off the end of the bat over his Casilla. And he makes a play for the out. That one had a little drama to it at the end. Hughes playing first base. A little late to cover the bag. Casilla let it go before he was even turned around. Carsoup.com email the booth question. Michael wants to know, why are older managers getting hired? Are there no up-and-coming managers? Obviously coming on the heels of the news of Davey Johnson joining the Florida Marlins tomorrow, and 80-year-old Jack McKeon.
I think it's a temporary situation. I think that's the bottom line here. I think that neither one of those two guys, Davey Johnson, Jack McKeon, I don't think these organizations think they're going to be back next year. It's just kind of a stopgap until they find somebody that they want to have the job permanently. That's my opinion.
The answer to the Carsoup.com email the booth question.
Now, to hire a manager that's 80 years old, and that's kind of going off the charts a bit.
Trader Jack.
Trader Jack. He's been out a long time, been in baseball.
Younger managers
but
sometimes have a tough time, building enough equity, I guess is the best word for it, to withstand some of the bad times, to end up as a major league manager. Look at Terry Francona with the Red Sox. I think many would consider him one of the best managers in baseball. He's won 2 World Series titles, but run out of Philadelphia. Was on the ropes a couple of times with the Red Sox before the World Series title.
And you don't see hires like the ones that you just saw on the screen, in the offseason. Mid-season, firings or guys resigning, like in the case of Jim Riggleman in Washington. You just got to find somebody that's going to fill the gap.
Betancourt with another hard hit ball. It goes as a hit. He has stung the ball in all 3 at-bats here today. And 2 for 3 in this game.
But there are a number of very good candidates down in the minor leagues, and a number of good candidates that are bench coaches in big league baseball. And that's what you like to see. Betancourt getting on top of one, shooting it right back through the middle. Brewers had very good approaches in last night's ball game. A number of base hits to the opposite field.
Two men are out. Another base runner with 2 away, and here is Lucroy. Now Ron Roenicke will be 55 in August, and getting his first chance to manage in the major leagues after 11 years on a big league staff with Mike Scioscia, the last 7 as a bench coach. That's usually the path to a major league manager. You have to typically come from the bench coach role or a big league coaching role.
And it's not often, like Mike Scioscia, really no managerial experience at all, and all of a sudden you become a major league manager. And I certainly hope that that email question did not include Ron Roenicke as one of those old coaches. 55 is not old, is it? Please tell me it's not.
Not in most circles, except in yours.
Still a young man.
No, for sure. It's in great shape. every time a left-handed starting pitcher pitches against the Brewers, Ron Roenicke throws the first 2 groups of batting practice, which is no small feat. He's in outstanding shape. And Ron Roenicke would be the first to tell you he is blessed with former major league managers to his side, Jerry Narron, Dale Swaim, and relies heavily upon his coaches. That is a pretty familiar sight in the dugout. Jerry Narron, the bench coach, right next to Ron Roenicke as they talk about the game and what's ahead, usually looking an inning or 2 ahead. I asked Ron what the biggest difference was for him, and he said as a coach, and he was always thought of as one of the best sign stealers in the game. He's a guy that could pick apart body language and signs and crack the code, if you will. And that's not something he's able to do a lot of now because he's in control of all of the areas of the game.
Big picture guy.
So when he was a coach, he was able to focus in on one or 2 elements.
Right. Can't do that as a manager. It's like playing a chess game. He's got to be about 3 or 4 steps ahead of what's going on at the moment. Really can't be focusing in on the release point of Carl Pavano right now.
One ball, 2 strikes on Lucroy. Got a runner at first with 2 away. And Pavano wanting to get the sign straight with Butera.
I'm not sure what he's really worried about. I mean, you've got a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Spending a lot of time worrying about the base runner. And when you do that, a lot of times you make a mistake to the hitter. Butera going out there saying let him steal, we'll just walk Lucroy here, and then you got the pitcher coming up.
Lucroy with a walk and a triple, and that one is ripped into left center. That is going to get down. It's going to go to the wall. Betancourt around third. He's on his way to the plate, and he will score. Jonathan Lucroy with a 2-out double that produces a run, and the Brew Crew leading 4-1.
You spend too much time worrying about the base runner. You don't spend enough time worrying about the pitch you're going to throw. And Jonathan Lucroy having a nice day at the plate. Left one out over the plate. Looked like a fastball, and Lucroy hammers it out into center field. Revere was shaded around toward right. By the time he gets there, Betancourt able to cruise on into home plate. And the Brewers coming up with some big 2-out hits.
All 4 runs delivered with 2 outs in the inning. All 3 in the 5th, and the 4th one here in the 6th inning. 4-1 Milwaukee. Narveson will bat. Boy, and a lot of production again, Rock, from the bottom of the batting order.
Had 4 hits today. 4 of the 7.
And the Brewers have 4 hits, including a triple and a double from Lucroy, a walk, and Chris Narveson dropped down a sacrifice bunt. That changes the complexion of this offense completely. That one skips away from Butera. Lucroy will end up at third base. That'll be a wild pitch. And more 2-out trouble for Carl Pavano.
Breaking ball down in the dirt. Butera not really able to slide over and block it. Never did get down. Maybe the result of that foul tip earlier in the inning. That'll slow you down a bit.
At least make you a little hesitant. Narveson with a base hit. That is going to go to the wall. Lucroy scores. Narveson on his way to second. And a double and an RBI for the Brewer pitcher. 5-1 Milwaukee.
Now starting to unravel a bit for Carl Pavano. Boy, 5th and 6th innings have been tough on him, and all of the run production has come with 2 outs. Fastball, 2-seamer. Tried to get it down and away. Left it in the middle of the plate a little bit, and Narveson with a beautiful swing. Goes right with it down the left field line. The 8 and 9 hitters with 2 2-out doubles. in this inning to give the Brewers a 5-1 lead. Good swing by Narveson.
Lucroy and Narveson driving in the runs. Rick Anderson, the Twins pitching coach, having a chat with Pavano as Jose Mijares gets ready in the bullpen. For Chris Narveson, that is his second career extra base hit.
And the Brewers doing a pretty good job with men on base. Runners in scoring position, now 4 for 8 in this game.
Back to the top of the order. 5-1 Brewers. And Weeks takes a ball. So combined hitters 7, 8, and 9 today for Milwaukee. 5 for 7, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Weeks is 0 for 3. He's left a ton of runners on base, but the Brewers were able to pick him up in the 5th. Morgan had a 2-out RBI single that tied the game, and then Braun's 2-run homer with 2 outs in the 5th inning. Dale Swaim having a chat with Lucroy. There is no more satisfying stat for a hitting coach than a 2-out run producing hit. Weeks in the right. Kadire is there. And the inning is over, but the Brewers get some damage done from the bottom of the order. 3 consecutive hits, 2 more runs.
The 7th, let's take a look at the Toyota game summary in the 2nd inning. It was Jason Repko with the RBI single, getting the Twins on the board. But after that, it's been all Brewers. Nyjer Morgan with a 2-out base hit in the 5th, ties the game up, and then Ryan Braun adds a 2-run shot. He could add 17 games to his hit streak, 3-1 Brewers. Then Jonathan Lucroy in the 6th with a 2-out double. That scores a run, making it 4-1 Brewers. And they weren't done yet. The pitcher, Chris Narveson, with the double-scoring Lucroy, making it 5-1 Brewers. A lot of 2-out runs here, guys, and the Brewers liking what they're seeing.
And here is the in-game box score, as you see what the Brewers have been able to do today. 6 of the 8 hits coming with 2 outs, and all 5 of the runs.
How about the bottom half of the Brewers' order the last couple of days? 14 base hits. Boy, you love to see that. That'll put a smile on any manager's face.
And the Brewers in a position to sweep the Twins. We head to the 7th inning. 5-1 Milwaukee. And Narveson back on the mound. He has 5 strikeouts thus far. Narveson has issued just 1 walk. Facing Luke Hughes, who started for Minnesota.
Big inning for Narveson right here. He's got to put a 0 up. Quick inning. Keep the momentum.
Narveson's pitch count is at 85 right now, in good shape as he works in the 7th inning. Hughes, Repko, and Nishioka will bat for the Twins. 5, 6, and 7 in this Minnesota batting order. And Lucroy goes down. Tough inning for the catchers. Ron Renicky has no reservations about catching Lucroy in a day game after a night game. He just turned 25 years of age, and with Randy Wolf and George Kottaras hooking up so well, Kottaras is going to get that one start every turn through the rotation.
And plus, when Wolf is out of the game, a lot of times you'll see Lucroy come in for defense late. A double switch perhaps, and Lucroy, one of those guys certainly capable of being in there every day.
Now, when Jonathan Lucroy was coming up through the Brewers system, the big league catcher was Jason Kendall, and I think Lucroy looked up to Jason, saw how he went about his business every day, and the fact that he wanted to catch every day. As Narveson just missed, and Hughes is aboard with a walk. It's only the second walk issued by Narveson. He hasn't missed by much. Our text question today, courtesy of Ho Chunk Gaming: does Chris Narveson throw the same changeup as Sean Markham? Bobby in Milwaukee wants to know.
Yeah, it's a similar changeup. It's more of a straight changeup. Sean Markham could throw a couple of different changeups. He can make his changeup move in different directions. Chris Narveson has a pretty consistent changeup in that it goes away from a right-handed hitter. Markham can change the grip, the release point a little bit, the pressure on the fingers to make it go one of two different ways. But they're both very effective.
Which means Narveson can then surprise a hitter with an upper 80s fastball. He gets a lot of called strikes on his fastball like he did there. Breaks a lot of bats. There's another one. Back on the inside corner, it's 1-2.
Yep, third time through the order. Narveson really hasn't used his curveball much. Very similar to his start against the Cubs. A lot of fastballs, changeups. He got the big strikeout on Valencia last inning on a curveball, but he's been very careful using it. There's one.
Narveson was 12-9 a season ago. Made 28 starts for the Brewers. Started the year in the bullpen. Bouncing ball foul. It's one thing he's been able to do is win, and really started to figure it out as a pitcher in his late 20s. He's 29 now. Doug Melvin always references Jamie Moyer when he talks about Chris Narveson, maybe a late bloomer, a guy who took a little while to get to the big leagues, to get established. But boy, he is turning out to be quite a find for Milwaukee. You never know with left-handers.
No. You never know what it's going to, what's going to be the deciding factor that, that flips the switch on. And he's thrown the baseball much better at home than he has on the road this year. And Miller Park, a very good hitter's ballpark. He's 3-2 this year at Miller Park with an ERA just a little bit over 4. Those are good numbers here.
The 2-2 inside ball 3. So a full count pitch coming to Repko, and a swing and a miss. Struck him out. He went back with a fastball. Repko chased it. And strikeout number 6 for Chris Narveson.
They've got away with one there. That was ball 4 down in the zone. Sometimes when you look fastball, get fastball, you'll chase a pitch out of the strike zone, and that's what Repko did. Right down the heart of the plate, but low.
And now Narveson looking for a double play opportunity to get him out of the inning. Nishioka, a switch hitter. He's been bothered by tightness in his hamstring, playing through it. Tough to hit when you don't have your legs. Had a broken leg earlier in the year. Just returned in mid-June to the Twins. I was looking at some of the numbers on Nishioka in Japan. He's 26 years of age. Last year for Nippon, he had 346 in the Japanese major leagues. Got 11 homers, 59 RBIs. He's won a Gold Glove. He's played on a World Baseball Classic team out of Japan. This guy has some credentials, but it has been a horrible start to a major league career for Nishioka. It's interesting that he didn't start switch hitting until 2004.
Yeah.
He didn't do it until he was at the professional level.
Not easy. During that conversation with Lucroy, Nishioka was taking some practice swings, and he was taking his practice swings left-handed, but he's batting right-handed here. Maybe still got to remind himself that he's a switch hitter.
His natural side, right-handed. I've known hitters and pitchers in the past, when they're going bad, to swing the opposite way or throw with the opposite hand, just because it feels so awkward. To do it the normal way feels natural again. You know,
right.
Sometimes you get stuck in a rut.
I can't imagine how difficult it must be to try and be a switch hitter. I mean, it's tough enough, you know, taking swings from one side of the plate every single day, let alone from two sides of the plate.
Full count to Nishioka. And a line drive base hit. Hit that one hard, just dropped the barrel of the bat. And the Twins have 2 on now. And it looks like Ron Gardenhire is going to take a shot to get him back in it. You see the base hit from Nishioka.
Yeah, right down the middle of the fastball, and Joe Mauer is going to get a swing right here. So Ron Gardenhire going with his left-handed hitter against Narveson.
And here comes Rick Kranitz. Gardenhire is going to stack Mauer and Tomei.
Taking a shot right here in the 7th inning.
Now the Twins down by 4. Mauer will get the first crack at Chris Narveson. And I don't know if you call it forcing the hand of Ron Roenicke, but because these two are left-handed hitters, Narveson, who looks like he might be at the end of his rope, will stay on to pitch.
And you certainly don't want to bring in a right-hander to face these two guys. And you got to make a decision. You know, you got Narveson out there. Looks as though he's tiring a bit. He's at 104 pitches. Do you leave him out there because of the left-handed hitters coming up, or you bring in Troy Hawkins and you play right into Ron Gardenhire's hands right there?
Now remember, the Brewers do not have a left-hander in their bullpen. Ron Roenicke hinted that he would like a left-hander in his bullpen when the Brewers head to New York Tuesday. And logic would lead you to believe it would be Zach Braddock. But for now, no lefties. And Narveson stays. He'll face Mauer with 2 on and 1 out. That one at the bottom of the strike zone and gets ahead of Mauer.
Home plate umpire has been giving that low strike to both pitchers all day.
Mauer has struggled at the plate since his return. Just 3 for 29 at the plate since returning last Friday. Returned on the 17th of June. Missed 2 months. And he slices Allen to left. Braun is over. He's got it for the out. Well positioned. Ryan Braun runs one down. Mauer hit one in that same spot yesterday. And a big out for Narveson to get. Out number 2.
Well, it's all about positioning, and it's all about keeping the baseball down against Joe Mauer. He got ahead of him with a strike. Tried to get the cut fastball, but did not bite. And Mauer able to slice one hard, but Ryan Braun waiting right there for it. He was shaded toward the line and shallow and able to make the catch.
Well, tip your hat to John Shelby, the Brewers' eye in the sky, who sets the outfielders. They have a good game plan on Mauer. That is 2 outs he is lined into that you typically see go for extra base hits. Now Thome hits for Pavano. First and second. The Brewers lead 5-1. And the big slugger Thome. And a base hit knocks it through the shift. This is going to get a run home. So Luke Hughes scores the run. Thome with a pinch hit RBI single. 5-2 Milwaukee.
That first pitch, not messing around. He was watching that at bat for Joe Mauer. Saw that Narveson threw him a fastball. Thome did not let it go by. Yeah, same location. Able to bang it into left field and beat the shift.
And here comes Ron Renicky. That is going to do it for Narveson. So he'll get a nice hand on his way out. Narveson will leave with the lead. And a pitching change at Miller Park. Milwaukee goes 6 2/3 innings. At this point, just 2 runs allowed. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Narveson exits with 6 strikeouts today and a chance to win his 5th of the year.
Well, he was able to avoid the big inning up to this point, and that's been his nemesis, the big inning, including in his last start, a 4-run 7th for Narveson against, or I should say in his last start, but today outstanding. 7 strikeouts, only a couple of walks. 2 runs, only 1 of them earned.
So Narveson is out, still 2 base runners his responsibility. And the former Twin, LaTroy Hawkins, is on to pitch. Hawkins last pitched on Monday against Tampa Bay. It's been a while since he's been on the mound. Brian Dunsing, the pitcher, will pinch run for Jim Thome at first base. Top of the order with Ben Revere. Revere 0 for 3 against Narveson today. And I'm guessing Ron Renicky just feeling like Narveson is at the end of his rope with pitches. Bouncing ball, base hit. This is going to get a run. No, they'll hold the runner around third. Morgan playing shallow. Yeah, good break.
A good break, and you know the Twins are not going to take any chances down by 3 runs. They don't want to get a runner thrown out at home plate. But Revere doing a good job getting on top of a high fastball from Hawkins. And all of a sudden the Twins have the go-ahead run at the plate. A good piece of hitting by Revere. Fastball up and just slaps it into center field. Look how shallow Nyjer Morgan's playing.
All right, so it's Casilla, a switch hitter, representing the go-ahead run here. Tying run at first now. 5-2 Milwaukee. Casilla takes a strike inside corner. Twins have a run in, and the base is loaded. Mauer and Morneau, or rather Mauer and Thome pinch hitting in this inning. Mauer probably will stay in and catch. Thome has already been lifted for a pinch runner. 0-2 to count. Big spot for Hawkins against his former team. He was drafted and developed by the Twins. Spent 9 years in a Twins uniform. The 0-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. Lucroy steps on the plate, secures the strikeout. Inning over. The Twins strand the bases loaded. Hawkins comes in, gets out of it. And it's 5-2 Milwaukee as we head to the bottom of the 7th. And as is our custom on Sunday, we turn it over to Rob Edwards and Miller Park for their presentation of God Bless America.
Live as Milwaukee comes to bat in the bottom of the 7th, a 3-run cushion. Nyjer Morgan leading off, and Jerry, he kind of set the stage. All 5 runs scoring with 2 outs, and it all began with Nyjer Morgan in this game.
Boy, you have to like what he's done with the ball club. 2 outs, came up with the big base hit, set the stage for Ryan Braun's 16th game hitting streak going on, and also you got to like the back of the batting order. Been on base 7 times, they've scored 3 runs.
Yeah, just like last night, bottom part of that order coming through. We're getting set for Brewers Live coming up after the ball game. All set with your instructional in the outfield?
Yeah, we're going to go back on fly balls. Judging the ball is very difficult. We're going to try it.
All right, that's what we got set for you coming up on Brewers Live postgame, Brian and Bill.
All right, Craig, thanks. Looking forward to that as Jose Mijares is in to pitch for Minnesota. The left-hander against Nyjer Morgan. He'll have Morgan, Braun, and Fielder. A couple of left-handers in that group. Joe Mauer stays on to catch. Brewers dodge a big bullet in the 7th. A run scores, but Hawkins stranding the bases loaded with a strikeout. As Morgan swings and misses, out he goes. 1 away for Mijares in the 7th.
And Mijares with a very good slider, but he gave up the game-winning double to Prince Fielder. First game of the series. The only batter that he's faced against Milwaukee so far this year. Another player on the Twins that has spent some time on the disabled list.
That has been a full disabled list for the Twins. Ryan Braun back in the 5th inning with 2 outs. Rips one into left center and knocked it out of here. Boy, it was out in a flash. Braun didn't even know it was a homer. He thought it might have been an extra base hit. But a 2-run home run. And it gave the Brewers the lead. It was a 2-run shot that broke a 1-1 tie. Made it 3-1 at the time. Brewers added 2 more in the 6th. Now 5-2 Brewers. Trying to sweep the Minnesota Twins. Milwaukee can go to 9 games over 500. The Brewers have a 2-game lead over the Cardinals. St. Louis being shut out today by the Blue Jays 5-0. That one's in the 8th inning. Ricky Romero is spinning a 3-hit shutout against the Cardinals today at Busch. See Ryan Braun at the plate, presented by Wendy's. A home run in the 5th inning extended his hitting streak to 17 games. Bouncing ball, backhanded by Casilla, throws, and the ball skips away, and it goes into the seats, and Braun will head to second base.
That may go down as a hit and an error. That was a tough throw by Casilla. Off balance going toward left field. Pretty good chance it's going to be a hit and an error. And we'll see how they score it.
Yep, it'll go as a single and an E4. Second error for the Twins. So Braun ends up at second base for Prince Fielder. And a rematch of Friday night's sequence when Fielder doubled in 2 runs, gave the Brewers the lead in the 7th inning. Braun takes off. Fielder takes a strike. The throw is late. Braun steals third. That's a big stolen base. Even though Fielder is down in the count 0-2, he has a runner at third base with only 1 out.
And paid no attention to Ryan Braun. The middle infielder is not paying much attention to him. Mijares not worried about him. There he goes. He's got a little bit of a walking lead and able to steal it easily at third base.
Stolen base number 17 for Ryan Braun. That leads the club. Infield is in. And Prince rips one to right center. A base hit. Braun will score as Fielder delivers once again against Mijares.
Yeah.
6-2 Milwaukee.
And not a very good 0-2 pitch, was it? He tried to overthrow the slider and he hung it, and Prince made him pay. Hit it hard. Well, there they are again, the dynamic duo. The steal of third base. They bring the infield in, and there's that slider right down the middle. And Prince Fielder hits it hard into center field. They got that run back to a 4-run lead.
That ball was kissed. Prince now at 68 runs batted in for the season. The National League leader in RBIs. And Mijares is out. Another pitching change. Been a rough series for the left-handers. Well, Prince Fielder keeps his MVP type season going here. What a season. What a day today. Fielder answering at 0 for 3 with an RBI single. And he gets the Brewers back to a 4-run lead. Casey McGee now against the new pitcher Alex Burnett.
Yeah, Burnett has been up and down 2 different times already with the Twins. Riding the elevator between Rochester and Minnesota. He pitched a perfect inning and a third on Friday here at Miller Park for the Twins. 4 up, 4 down, including a strikeout.
Still just 1 out in the inning. 6-2 Milwaukee. And McGee a little late. You know what we're seeing in this game, obviously a lot of attention on Prince Fielder. He continues to lead the league in runs batted in, but today vintage Ryan Braun, you're seeing why he is such a weapon in front of Fielder with the power and the speed, the defense. Braun hit a home run in the 5th inning, legs out at infield hit here in the 7th. He steals 3rd. As McGee is down on strikes. Casey 0 for 4 today, 2nd out of the inning.
And he made a great defensive play in left field. He was positioned perfectly and able to take extra bases away from Joe Mauer. So you're right. He can beat you in a lot of different ways. He doesn't have to get base hits all the time.
Put so much pressure on the defense with his speed. And of course he puts a lot of pressure on the pitcher. Corey Hart with 2 away. Well, you bring up a good point about the outfield positioning. You know, that's something that you probably won't hear a lot about after the game. There won't be much commentary on it. They certainly won't show up in any highlights necessarily. But you know, the coaches, once they get in the room together, that's a pretty satisfying moment for them as they do all of the work to scout, prepare for the hitters. And 2 key plays, I thought, Rock, with not just Braun taking away a double from Mauer, but also Nigel Morgan playing shallow on the base hit that prevented Nishioka from scoring.
It would have ended up being a 5-3 game had Niger been a little bit deeper in center field. And a lot more to coaching in the big leagues these days than throwing BP and hitting fungos. Spend a lot of time before the game, after the game, going over video and scouting reports, and these coaches and manager put in an awful lot of time before the game. You have to be pretty computer savvy these days.
That's right.
Didn't used to be the case.
And don't you think because as you watch these coaches, they grind every pitch, every at bat, whether you're on the offensive side, the defensive side, it has to resonate to the players. I mean, they see that. You don't know how you're going to be positioned. All of the outfielders, for example, always look in between every pitch of every game. They're looking for a scouting report. And as far as outfielders go, Ed Cedar is the man down on the field setting the defense. John Shelby, which is a new role this year, the eye in the sky for the Brewers. John Shelby was a great outfielder, and he's hawking this game and every game and trying to map out his plan.
And all the work that every one of these coaches do, the only time that you talk about the coaches is when things aren't going well. Players get all the credit when things are going well. Coaches are, everybody points the finger at the coaches when things are not.
So Burnett strikes out hard. Inning is over, but the Brewers get a run, and they lead 6-2 as we go to the 8th.
It will be humid with some sunshine, but there is a chance for thunderstorms. First pitch at 80 degrees.
Looks like a nice day in the big city. The Brewers lead the Twins 6-2. Final game of this homestand, and headed to the Bronx to start a series on Tuesday. What's on tap? Brought to you by Miller Lite. Yankees series begins Tuesday, goes through Thursday, and then at Minnesota Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Night games the first two nights at Yankee Stadium, and then a matinee on Thursday. Zach Greinke will start against Freddie Garcia Tuesday. Cameron Lowe will work the 8th. 6-2, the Brewers lead the Twins. And Lowe will face Michael Kadire to start it. Kadire, Valencia, and Hughes.
I think it's the first time the Brewers have played the Yankees in New York since '97. I know the Yankees have been here. I think that was 01. Was it 01, 05? What was it?
Yeah, 05, I believe.
Okay. And the Brewers won 2 out of 3 against the Yankees in that series here at Miller Park.
I'm looking forward to that series, not just because it's in Yankee Stadium, which is a beautiful ballpark, and we're going to kind of dip into some of the Yankees past and old Yankee Stadium. But it is a home run hitters ballpark And the two top home run hitting teams in baseball will be squaring off. I think everybody is looking forward to seeing Prince Fielder at Yankee Stadium. Right now, the Yankees are in first place in the American League East. They lead the Red Sox by a half a game. Two balls, two strikes. Cameron Lowe trying to put Cuddyer away to start this 8th inning. Cuddyer doubled his last time up. Narveson finishes with 6 2/3 innings and 2 earned runs allowed. And a swing and a miss. A power sinker from Cameron Lowe. That one just fell off the table. Cuddyer is out. Strikeout number 1 for Lowe.
Yeah, come out to Miller Park July 4th through the 6th as the Brewers take on the first place Arizona Diamondbacks. Both teams are tops in the National League in home runs, so there should be plenty of fireworks. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit Brewers.com. Get it, fireworks 4th of July.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
That's pretty good promo writing right there.
Yeah. Excellent. Worth a parking spot. Dollar Dog day in that group as well in July 4th through the 6th.
Clements hot dogs. What could be better?
Every time the Diamondbacks come to town, we do the grill. We break the grill out.
Right. And Mark Grace loves the South Dock Clements barbecue that we put on.
Yeah. Rock out there sweating on all the Clements brats. Just for that little extra spice.
I have been de-aproned, from cooking. Pete Aschenbrenner from Clements is usually the guy flipping the sausages. We'll see. We'll get it going.
But it's worth, a tip or two. Since we're going to have the cameras there anyway, maybe you could tap back into the Bills Grill mode and give us a little something.
I will.
Just for old time's sake.
I will. I'll be right in there. Face first into the coals.
1-2 to Valencia. Outside for a ball. 2-2 the count. If you didn't know, Bill Schroeder is the king of the grill. At least on this crew.
Right.
I need to get a grill before I can even start to challenge. Big bouncer. Speaking of well positioned, Weeks is right there, and a strong throw.
That's about as long a throw as second baseman's ever going to make in a big league game. On the shortstop side of second base, Garth Orge and his defensive alignment. There's Ricky right there. You can see where Betancourt is. He's in the hole between short and third, and he barely has to move. A couple of steps back. Positioned beautifully. And if you got a shot of Garth Orge right there, he had a big smile on his face, I would imagine.
That's another attaboy. A lot of attaboys today for the coaches. The key in all of that, I was talking to Garth about these shifts, and because Weeks has such a strong arm, you can afford to move him over to that side of the field. But the key is Prince Fielder. And he's been told to get as far away from first base as he feels comfortable so he can make it back to the bag. And he sprints to the bag here to receive the throw from McGee. Cameron Lowe is locked and loaded here lately. Another 3-up, 3-down inning with a strikeout. And we're headed to the bottom of the
The Coldwater Canyon Boat Tour. This is Fat Man's Misery, the narrowest part of the tour. You have to kind of suck it in, BA, to get through here, and you can suck it in and squeeze through this. Fat Man's Misery every day here at the Dells, the Lost Voyage Nighttime Adventure Boat Tour.
Look at Mark out there hanging out at the Dells, having fun in the sun. We're having our own fun here at Miller Park. 6-2 Brewers lead the Twins as we head to the bottom of the 8th. A couple of changes for Minnesota. The new pitcher is Glenn Perkins. Michael Kadire moved from right field to first base, and the new right fielder is Rene Tassoni. Betancourt, a bouncer in the hole, and another base hit. Yuniesky Betancourt with his 3rd hit of the day.
And there's that bottom half of the batting order doing it once again. They have been red hot last couple of days. And Perkins has spent some time on the disabled list. Who on this roster has not been on the disabled list, you ask yourself? And 26th appearance and good numbers for the left-hander. 3 of them out in the bullpen. For Ron Gardenhire, a .210 earned run average, has not allowed a home run.
There's Rene Tassoni. So Yuniesky Betancourt with his second 3-hit game of the season. And that gives Betancourt 10 hits on the homestand. 10 for 24 at the plate, including 2 homers. And 4 runs batted in. That's the kind of homestand the Brewers have been waiting for on Betancourt. Lucroy has had a big day today. A triple, a double, 2 runs scored, an RBI. He walked. The first 5 runs the Brewers scored today all came with 2 outs. Lucroy had a 2-out RBI double in the 6th inning. Jonathan now hitting .283 with 7 homers, 33 driven in after the RBI in the 6th. Axford and Estrada. Typically Renicky in a 4-run lead using his closer. If it's any more than that, he'd probably go with somebody else. Lucroy just foul, missed it by inches. Let's check in with Brandon Cruz.
Hey, we were just talking about Betancourt's homestand. The guy's really been unbelievable. He came in hitting .224, and right now after that hit, his 3rd of the day, he's up to .241 already. So you could say he's very happy to be home, and hopefully he continues that as they go to New York.
Yeah, maybe those summer months as the mercury rises. Betancourt, native of Cuba. Always, for every hitter, they prefer to hit in the warm weather. It's Lucroy lifts one to right center field, going to be run down by Tassoni, and Betancourt will retreat.
Yeah, first time that the Twins have been able to retire Jonathan today. A couple of walks, a couple of extra base hits. Good day at the plate for Jonathan, and hanging some pretty good signs for his pitching staff today as well.
So here is Josh Wilson with one away. Lost in the shuffle last night of a terrific Brewers win was a great catch by Josh Wilson, which turned into another Nyjer Morgan moment after the game. Morgan was involved in the play as well. Walking through the clubhouse earlier today, and everybody say, "Hey, a nice catch last night, Josh." 27th out of the game, the last out of the game. He goes, "Yeah," and everybody wanted to talk to Morgan about it. There's Betancourt, and the throw gets away from Nishioka. Betancourt steals the base, his 2nd of the game.
And he did the right thing. He took off the first move and just kept going. It takes 2 good throws to get you at second base. And Ron Gardenhire just continues to be frustrated at his defense.
Second steal for Betancourt today to go along with his 3 hits.
Yeah, throw a little bit low by Kadire, the first baseman, and that made it tough on the Twins shortstop.
So Josh Wilson with a chance to drive in a run. Pinch hitting for Lowe and a foul out of play. Wilson made such a great catch, and not one person asked him about it after the game because of this. Check out Nyjer Morgan here. Wilson makes the great play. Morgan rolls over him, and then just out of the frame gives a high five to a Twins fan. That's how the game ended. The out was called, and a little dap, he said. Nyjer Morgan.
Twins fans reaching for the baseball, probably thinking that Nyjer had it in his glove.
I mean, it's hard enough for Josh Wilson to get over there by the tarp, make the catch. He's got Morgan rolling all over him. And Morgan got loose with another memorable post-game performance as Wilson strikes out. If you missed it, here's what it sounded like.
The process has been like, come on, dog. I'm trying to be serious. I mean, the process has been everybody just coming along together, just gelling.
I know you're not looking at the standings at this point.
No.
But
no.
You guys are starting to put a little distance.
Tell you the truth, I've never been on top before. I've always been in the cellar, so this is something new to me. No, you didn't see me slap 5 with the fan after I yelled to the umpire, he caught it. And then there's a Twins fan right there, so I dapped him up, give him some love, yeah.
He dapped him up, Brock.
Nice.
Oh boy,
he's something else.
I'm telling you.
I mean, that's legit. I mean, he's like that, whether the cameras are on him or not. And you say hello to him around the batting cage in the clubhouse, walking to his car. Yeah, I mean, it's the same guy.
Well, they're going to walk Ricky Weeks here intentionally. And that means Nyjer Morgan will be lifted from the game. Carlos Gomez will pinch hit for Morgan. He dapped him up. Just in case you missed the dap, this is a dap. Got the out and the dap. Sitting on top of the tarp. Well, Morgan is out. Nyjer had a big hit today. A 2-out RBI single in the 5th inning. And with the left-hander on the mound, Ron Renicky is going to go with Carlos Gomez.
Good day at the office for Nyjer Morgan. And a big 2-out base hit back in the 5th inning to tie it up, setting the table for Ryan Braun's home run.
So here is Gomez, and like Morgan today, Gomez had a big early hit for Milwaukee yesterday. He swings and lifts this one in the air, foul territory. Kadire, and he's got it for the out. Gomez sees one pitch, the inning is over, and we head to the ninth. The Brewers trying to dap up the Twins for a sweep. Well, the Brewers 3 outs away from a sweep of the Minnesota Twins. And they're looking for their 7th straight win against their interleague rivals, going back to last season with a 4-run lead. John Axford is on to pitch. Cameron Lowe a scoreless 8th. Now Axford will work the 9th.
Yeah, Axe is really on a roll right now. He's talking about 14 consecutive scoreless appearances, and he's been able to convert his last 17 save opportunities. This is not a save opportunity, but he has been lights out. One of the best in the business as of late.
Gomez will take over in center field. And Axford deals Jason Repko strike 1. The Cardinals have lost today. Toronto shut them out 5-0. Ricky Romero shuts out St. Louis on a 4-hitter. Beat Kyle McClellan. So the troubles continue for the Cardinals. The Brewers, with a victory, will take a 3-game lead into the off day tomorrow and into New York Tuesday. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Repko. Axford saved number 20 on Friday night. 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. Made it look easy. And he got him. Boy, what a breaking ball that was. Repko off one knee, swings and misses for the first out of the 9th inning.
Now this is the pitch that has separated John Axford from most lately. Gets ahead 2 strikes. That curveball that goes straight down, and Repko just waves at it.
So 1 gone, and it's Nishioka. Well, this could be a big moving day for Milwaukee. The Reds have lost today. Baltimore beat Cincinnati 7-5. And Pittsburgh is trailing in the bottom of the 9th to the Red Sox 4-2. So it could be a day where the Brewers win and their nearest challengers all lose. The Cardinals, the Pirates, and the Reds. 2 more outs to get. Bouncing ball, backhanded, Betancourt, long throw, not in time. Good play, but no chance to get Nishioka. And the Twins are still at it. They've got Joe Mauer coming up. Let's take you back to Chris Narveson's afternoon. And Rocky's got a chance to win his 5th game of the year.
Well, and early in the game, he was very good. 3 of his first 4 innings were 3 up, 3 down innings. He did fall behind early in the 2nd, but was able to get the leadoff hitter out in just about every inning today, and able to avoid the big inning.
And at this point, our Menards player of the game. Here is Mauer batting for the 2nd time. Mauer pinch hit in the 7th inning and lined out to left. Braun was well positioned toward that line. Left field is a tough sun field right now. Braun staring right into that sun, and he shoots one that way. That's down. Braun will backhand it, and Mauer has a hit. So the Twins putting up a fight. 2 on, 1 out. And back come the Twins here in this 9th inning.
And you know at some point Joe Mauer is going to return to form. It's not going to be long that he's going to be under 200. He's just too good of a hitter. Able to take a John Axford fastball away and just line it down the left field line. That is vintage Joe Mauer, hitting it right where it's pitched.
That's as good of a swing as it gets from the left side. Mauer singles, 2 on for Tassone now. His first at bat. This is the player who replaced the injured Delman Young, who went on to disable this yesterday.
Yeah, before yesterday's game, he got sent down to the minor leagues to make room for Jim Thome, and with the injury yesterday, back at it.
And he is up in a big spot. 2 on, 1 out. Axford looking for a ground ball to end this game. A good cut to Sony right on it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Curveball, strike, a beauty. 1 and 2.
That's the get me over curveball. Now I throw that power curveball down in the dirt. Either that or elevate the fastball. And when he gets that over, you don't know what to look for up there at the plate.
See what he has in mind. Lucroy puts the signs down. The 1-2 pitch and a bouncer back to Axford. To second for 1. Betancourt's throw in time. Ball game over. The Brewers sweep the Minnesota Twins. A 4-2 homestand and a 6-2 final score this afternoon. Axford makes a winner out of Narveson, who is 5-5. And the Brewers with their 44th win, now 3 games up in the National League Central. Much more still to come on this game. Craig Cashone, what do you have coming up on Brewers Live?
Well, we'll see how the Brewers built that cushion now in first place. We're going to hear from the clubhouse, Ron Renicky, and the stars of today as well. What a pitching performance by Narveson and some clutch 2-out hitting as well.